Hello, Virgos. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. Virgo, I've already pulled out a couple of cards. Well, I pulled out one card and we have an underlying card. We're working with the Oracle of the Radiant Sun deck for your reading. And you come across with these cards as someone who is very empathetic, very kind, very giving, really having a strong sense of, how someone, if there's somebody experiencing something or going through maybe even something difficult in their life or some type of a challenge, you're coming across as someone who has, even if it's something that you haven't experienced, it's like you could put yourself in that person's position. You could put yourself in that person's position and you have a real keen ability to understand, I want to say, some of the very small nuanced aspects that a person would experience in different types of situations, even if you haven't experienced those yourself. And you're also someone who has you're also coming through to me as someone who, when you see what another person might need, you may see how you can fulfill that need for that person, like how you can help them, how you can be most helpful. I feel like you might have had more of a people pleaser energy in the past. And when I say past, I don't know how long ago that is. And there may have also been sort of like a rose-colored glasses impression of the world and how the goodness of you and you helping others, how that would have been received, what the results of that goodness from yourself, what it could have done, and how it could have benefited yourself and other people. And I feel like in the past, and this may have been, there's actually a phrase that is connected to your underlying card, which is kind of like losing the plot to a story, or okay, so how I want to explain it is, if in the past you were like everything, I think you still are this person, but you handle it differently. But in the past, this very empathetic and helpful person, and let's say you imagine that by doing that, that you build like happiness and community around yourself and others. And that's sort of like maybe even the fantasy or the rose-colored glasses about, being a really kind, sweet person in the world. But like where you lose the plot, or where you lost the plot in the past, was it wasn't that doing those things was going to build, a fantasy-based sort of, it wasn't going to materialize a fantasy-based ideal that you could have with yourself and others. Actually, it was about recognizing the value of yourself after feeling maybe even devalued, and being able to come up from that and not be a people pleaser anymore. Like that was the plot. But it might not have felt like it at the time. Like you might have had your own ideal. And to some extent, I want to say, well, depending on what people's childhoods are and what they're exposed to very early on in life, I think a lot of people have sort of like ideas about life in that way. Like that I'm big enough for you. You pulled out this card, which is, it is the sun in Pisces. Now, you could. I mean, there's a possibility here that some of you could be coming here and your sun is in Pisces. You could have some other very important placement in Virgo, and that's why you're coming to this reading. You could have also been dealing with a Pisces in the past. That's also a possibility, because Pisces is really good at kind of like understanding what needs are there. And that can be used in a way that is beneficial to provide a need that somebody has without them specifically asking for it. But then it can also be used as a manipulative tool to some degree here. But it's all this energy that it talks about to me is you. And then we come in here. So now you have Jupiter in Libra is your energy right now. And this is trying to be fair on both sides. This is somebody who's trying to be very diplomatic. This is also someone who, if, let's say you came into a great amount of money here, you would, it's so Virgo too, really, honestly. Like what I'm about to describe, I feel like what I'm about to describe is, like, let's say you came into a great deal of money, but you would sit back and maybe think, well, you know what, my parents really helped me in life, or my uncle or my aunts or somebody here. And you know what, who I am today is because of them. And my little sister, my little brother or something, you know what, the way the world is today, they'll never really get, maybe they'll never be able to afford a home, and they'll never be able to do this. I'm going to make sure that we all enjoy the bounty that has come into my life. I'm gonna split this in half. I'm gonna keep half, and I'm gonna give a certain amount to my uncle or my aunt and my sibling or whatever. Like that's kind of who you are right now. So, and this is coming a little bit out of a people pleaser energy. That's not me. See, I really like it because it's not someone who's just, you know what, I've been burned before by giving to people and being nice to people. I'm not going to do that anymore. That's not your energy. There's a good likelihood that you have been in the past, and that's why you're being more practical. I want to say you're kind of being more practical. Now, this card, this is decision time. That's the other thing with this card, is it's like, it's time to make a decision. You need to make a decision here. I don't know what that decision is about. And maybe it is like, okay, that's also interesting, right? She's negotiating on one side here, is nighttime, and on the other side is daylight. And right, we're talking about the sun. Is there something maybe even that you envisioned in your life in the past, and you have to decide? I don't know why. Why do you have to? But that's what it's like. It's decision time with this card. There's something here that you need to decide. Are you really, really going to pull maybe an ideal that you held, or type of vision that you had? Are you really going to self-actualize around this vision? Are you going to make this your reality? That's also how this comes across. Are you going to make this your reality? Could also, so this is also interesting though, because, right, talk about losing the plot. Here, I'm gonna tell you, Sun in Pisces. Yeah, events, a sacrifice, a mystery or a confusion of imagination and reality, a chance to escape, a miracle, situations in which one loses the plot. So, and then that takes you, right, that's the past, and that takes you here. In a reading, the negotiation card indicates that time has come to make a decision, and that there is a need to consider the pros and cons of a situation to make sure the answer is acceptable to both parties. So is that something that you're doing too? Are you trying to answer a question here? Or are you trying to come to a decision and do that in a way that it's acceptable for you and someone else? Like, you could literally be a mediator for something right now also. You could be between two friends. You could be between two colleagues. You could be, yeah, I'm really wanting to pull tarot out on this. Because if there's a situation here in the past where you kind of lost the plot here, if you got wrapped up too much in a fantasy or your imagination, and maybe do we stay in the dark, or do we go into the sun? Because here's the thing too, you're not a Pisces. Well, maybe you are. Maybe you are. You're one of the rare ones that have come here. This reading is going to be a little different for you if you are. Because, right, like you're a Virgo. You came here to be a Virgo. I wonder, oh, maybe some of you, maybe this is even in South and North Node energy of some sort here. I know it's Libra, but it's totally giving me that sort of really practical, and let's look at all sides of a situation, sort of Virgo, and let's understand it fully before we make a decision here. Oh yeah, I'm going to go to the underline first. What was this vision? What was this vision that you had in the past? The Chariot, where you're going, where your heart space belongs, what moved your heart, what moved you. Maybe you had a vision of where you were going and where you were ending up here. The Chariot. Really watery energy. Pisces and Cancer there. The Empress. The Emperor. And the Eight of Swords. Oh, so it's like having a vision. A good one, a big one. Maybe this has something to do with a strong partnership here, a divine partner. Maybe you have a vision and you don't know how you make it happen. Maybe you have a vision and you can't see how it can happen. Did you have a vision and you can't see how it can happen? I'm really, did you have a vision here about yourself and someone else? And you had a vision here that you and this person are counterparts, really powerful counterparts in some way. Maybe that you're supposed to do something with this person, or this person's supposed to move towards you, or you're supposed to move towards them. But with the Eight of Swords, you can't see, you can't fathom how that's possible. That's the past. Okay, and now it's like really trying to be practical. Trying to come up with a decision. I feel like this decision is it still staying in fantasy? Or is it moving into some type of reality? What's on the side of the moon here in this negotiation that Virgo is exercising? What's on the side of the moon? The Queen of Cups. Love. There's water. There's a lot of water over there. What's the Sun? Maybe this is about believing what you see in front of you and believing what you feel but can't see. What's the Sun? The Queen of Swords. What you can see and understand. Oh my. All right. This is somebody that has had a vision. You've had a dream or dreams or visions here of someone that moves your heart. Someone that you move with. Of a person. But you can't perceive. You don't see it in your reality. You didn't see it in your reality in the past. And right now, it's almost like you're sitting at this point in time where you feel like you need to make a decision. And do you choose the Queen of Cups or do you choose the Queen of Swords? Do you choose, you choose your heart space? Because I would say your heart space is definitely connected to whatever this vision in the past was. Or do you choose what you can see right in front of you as reality? And for whatever reason, it feels like you're at a point where you need to make that choice. You feel like you need to make that choice. You feel like you need to choose between one of these. The Queen of Cups. The Seven of Swords. The Sun. And the Nine of Swords. This is a vision that seems very real. You're trying to use your mind to make a decision of the heart. That's tricky. You are literally trying to use your mind to make a decision of the heart. It's almost like looking back at your fantasy, the vision you had, with distrust. You're looking back at a vision that you've had with distrust. And if your heart tells you, no, this is true, your mind comes in and says, no, it's not. This is a very, very, it's your axis. Is that what they call it, an axis? Or what is that? It's like your opposite sign. And they're quite different, aren't they? Because, you know, Pisces being very fantasy-based and imagination and swimming in illusions and possibilities. And then Virgo is, well, the truth is the most important thing here. And I need facts. There should be facts to support this. And so the Queen of Swords. So what happens when you start to swing over to the Queen of Swords side? The Seven of Wands, become guarded, disappointed, and life feels heavy. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. When you choose the Queen of Swords side, I want to say, A, you hide your disappointment and sadness. And B, you walk with whatever responsibility is yours in where you find yourself. This is tricky. My gosh. I don't know what else to say. Like, what else to add? I mean, this is very clear. And I feel this vision is something that maybe even awoken your heart. It woke your heart. This vision woke your heart here. But you can't see how it's possible with the Eight of Swords. It's not possible. When you dip into the possibility of this vision being something in your life ahead for you, your mind immediately gets in the way and says, listen, that's not here. I don't see it. That's not possible. But the sun is coming up like, no, this is the sun. It's almost like the sun is hopping over to the nighttime energy, right? Because it is the sun in Pisces. It's like, no, this is the truth. No, it's not. No, it's not, is what your brain is saying. No, it's not. No, it's not. Tell me about the Empress. Wow, the Ace of Wands. There's something going on here. I was really looking at her hand, like the magic coming out of her hand and holding. And then we have the Ace of Wands holding that. The High Priestess. Wow, this is a strong feminine. Like, You have divine feminine in the spirit form. Oh, but heartbroken. This is a powerful, powerful feminine energy, but it is heartbroken. Tell me about the Emperor. This is, okay, sorry, the Empress here too. It's almost like a realization, but you don't understand it with the High Priestess energy as well. Like a realization, but you don't understand it. The Emperor. The King of Swords. The Eight of Cups. And the Page of Cups. Oh, the Emperor is someone who just believes what they see and has become very emotionally detached. They have a tiny bit, just like a tiny bit in their heart. The Eight of Swords. Yeah, the Emperor is just all clinical thinking. Very emotionally detached. No emotional investment in anything. Very small emotional investment in anything with the Page of Cups. Is this why the Empress has the Three of Swords? The Eight of Swords. The Ten of Pentacles. The Knight of Swords. And the Page of Wands. I don't know. Your person could be in a relationship. When I say your person, I don't know if it's somebody that you've had a vision of. Is it somebody who's in a relationship? It could be something here about like quickly talking to someone as well. Or wanting to quickly talk to someone but don't know how. This is really interesting. I mean, why is it? Like, why is it that Virgo feels like right now is the time they need to make a decision? Why now? Why does it feel like now that Virgo needs to make this decision? Because you're confused. You're confused. There's so many choices and options. You feel like you're, maybe you feel like you're, yeah, like living castles in the sky, right? With the Seven of Cups. This is not, there. You need a foundation. Why? Because you feel like you need some sort of solid foundation here. It's almost like just like swimming around in the fog. Now, this Pisces energy could even have you feeling very foggy. Feeling very foggy in your mind. There's something going on. There's a lot of fucking big planets moving around. And they're all going like back. They all came out. I call them hoes. Goes the big planets. The outer, well, they're not big. I mean, big in terms of the outer. The modern planets. The outer planets. The ones that take like hundreds of years and shit to go through signs. They're doing that zippity-doo-dah. They're retrograding back. It's like Saturn is retrograded back to Pisces. It was having a little bit of time there in Aries. And it's gone, right? And that's where it's going to end up or something. I don't fucking know. I can't keep track right now, too. It's like a lot. There's a lot of planets that are kind of going back before they hop more permanently into the signs that they were changing. They're hanging out in everybody's house here. But, yeah, so the Seven of Cups, because you feel confused. You're tired of feeling confused, I'm guessing. You're just tired of feeling confused. You're tired of feeling like you're walking in a fog. Well, damn. That's what I have for you, Virgo. The Queen of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Devil. That's interesting. That almost feels like a very long, a prolonged lesson here on one's sense of self and will through periods of, let's just say difficulty, periods of difficulty. I'm going to go do your extended, Virgo. In the extended, I think in the extended, I'm going to ask, which decision is for your highest good at this time, right? Like trying to make a decision. Do you trust your heart? Do you trust what you see in front of you? Which decision is for your highest good at this time? And how can you best capitalize on that decision? There are 2 options in the description below. Thank you so much, Virgos. Until next time, be gentle with yourselves. Bye.